Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. Welcome back to another video. Happy New Year. I'm not really one for setting resolutions, but I think my main thing this year is going to be discipline. It's just making sure that I'm doing everything that I do with discipline, whether it's getting up in the morning or routines, anything like that. Just really like hitting home on that. I actually saw a video that the Primogen did the other day, and he mentioned something along the lines of that the goals are the means and the end is the character that you build. So I'm just going to focus on building my character and myself and working on myself, and I feel like the goals will materialize. So I'd actually be interested to hear about your resolutions for this year or goals, whatever it is you do. Yeah, it'd be great to hear. I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while, mainly to kind of helps me consolidate all of my knowledge within it and things that I've learned. A video on freelancing and kind of like my guide to freelancing, but it's not a guide, it's more of my thoughts, feelings and experiences, and then some other stuff that I've learned along the way. So the first thing is know what you're getting yourself into. You've got to be prepared to do it all. Everything from accounting to selling to branding. Building your brand is so important, and something that I've struggled with and had to really learn to keep going and keep doing that. You've got to think of your strategy, your scheduling, and the actual work itself. So you kind of take your role and have to multiply it by all of these different things. It is a lot of work, but it can be so rewarding, and you can really build something that gives you flexibility as well. But you've got to be ready for what you're getting into. It's not really a walk in the park. I fell foul of this for sure. I had a few long-term clients and was like, oh, this is pretty cushy. And then as soon as that work dwindles, you're like, oh, hang on a minute. I need to get going again. So it's one of those where there's kind of no days off, but there are if you do the work in the right way. The next thing is super important, and something again I thought foul of. This video should just be called learning from my failures, I guess. But it's know your worth. Don't undersell yourself. It's very easy to do when you think, oh, I need to get clients for my portfolio, but I don't have clients, and it's that kind of vicious circle. I think helping people out to start with, small businesses, friends and family, can be good. I think for freelancers, we often charge less for projects than what we're worth, 100%. You probably undervalue yourself and undersell yourself at times. You have to factor in your costs. It's not just, oh, how much is this project gonna be? It's, you know, you've got to think of your overheads, you've got to think of the expenses that you have month to month. And then also you've got to factor in your value and what you actually bring to your client. It's not just, this is how much this is gonna cost. You've really got to think about what you're bringing and where you value that at. And it's easier said than done. I think pricing, you could do a whole video on figuring that out, but you've got to be careful not to work for free. It can be helpful with small projects, getting started, but there's building your portfolio and then there's selling yourself short, and it's a very thin line for sure. But yeah, that's definitely another top one, is knowing your worth. Okay, so another one is know how to sell yourself and how to package what you do with your pricing and everything. Sometimes you'll be doing more outreach and selling than the actual work. It's kind of a never-ending thing. I think sometimes you could do a small project and charge less, when actually you should probably be charging more for projects, and that time you would spend doing those other projects, you should be doing lead generation and outreach. Really trying to sell yourself, work on your brand, and get those things going. So yeah, and then following on from that, you also need to know how to package your work to make sure you have your solid pricing. It's very industry specific and changes on what work you do, but knowing how to package things and research various ways of, maybe how you can boost some revenue or offer a discount, make it more enticing to clients. And obviously this is project dependent, it's work dependent. There's a lot of different factors, but knowing how to package that to maximize the value of the project, but also making sure that you're not, again, overworking yourself and underselling yourself. And I mean, there's loads of different ways to price yourself and to package these things. You've got like transactional, just small jobs, one-off payments. You've got flat fees, project fees. You've got hourly, and it doesn't really work that you take your hourly and like, oh, this is going to take me X amount of hours for a bigger project. There's a lot more to factor in for that. Whether for software engineering, it might be like looking at hosting and maintenance. Like maintenance contracts are a big one in terms of figuring out, it's not just here's the work, crack on, have your project, enjoy. It's, you know, you've got to think about hosting, you've got to think about analytics, optimizing things. If, you know, they suddenly need a change or something's broken, you've got to factor that in as well. You've got to think of it like, you know, look at businesses when they have products with the different tiers. You've got to know how to package yourself, not to just sell, but to also make sure that you're not, again, overworking yourself and underselling. Oh wee, let's go a cup of tea. Whew. Next one is a big one, and a lot of people say it, but networking and community. It was one of those things that I always heard when I was like starting my journey, not even just in software development, but just in work in general. Networking is going to be such an important thing, and me being a bit introverted and a bit like, I didn't want to network, but I forced myself when I moved here to Vancouver to get out and network more, and even kind of started that before I left, messaging people and reaching out. But oh boy, I was wrong. It is super important, and especially for freelancing work, because when you network with even your clients and you talk to your clients, there's word of mouth that starts there. And especially if you, which you should do, is pick an industry and a niche a little bit. You start creating these little networks between people, and clients will talk to other people and may introduce you to someone else. And just introducing yourself sometimes can be a game changer. It kind of sets things off and starts working in the background once you've got going. Sometimes, you know, you really find work through other people, and that is super important. Mainly as well, it helps to keep helps just people to know you, to get your brand and find your voice as well, just talking to people. Doing YouTube has helped me massively, just to be able to articulate things slightly better. I'm still pretty shocking at it and learning as I go, but it's helped me massively, and networking has been super valuable. And as I said, once you get going and put the work into it, reaching out to people or asking your clients, you know, is there anyone that they could put you in touch with? Just talking to your clients about, oh, I'm started doing this, say, app development, or I found this new framework and I've started doing this. I've started doing more AR or VR, or, you know, it could be accounting services, it could be anything, like any kind of software that you're making. Talk to your clients, let them know. They might think, oh, John down the road talked to me about this the other day, maybe I can put you in touch. It kind of just sets things in motion, and it's super beneficial. And the other side of that is community. I found a dev group through Jacob Binney's Jacob Sucks at Code. There's so many awesome people in there, just to bounce ideas off. And from that, I joined another group, Andrew Peacock, super great Discord groups of people that you can just be like, does this idea suck? Or like, can you help me with this? I've never done this before. And with freelancing, finding a freelance community or just your peers that you can like just hit up and ask questions and things. It's a bit of support. Like, you don't necessarily have colleagues, so having people that you can talk to is really beneficial, because it can get quite lonely. When you know, I sit in the apartment a lot sometimes. I'm like, that's why I go out to coffee shops and things, because sometimes you can end up just sitting and doing a lot on your own, and it doesn't need to be like that. Oh, okay, next one, goals and targets, which was quite funny because at the start of the video I said I wasn't really one for saying resolutions and goals, but it does work with this. Setting yourself goals and targets can just help things move forward, and they don't have to be huge. They can just be little things day to day. I'm going to reach out to 4 new people, potential clients, or I'm going to check in on clients, or I'm going to work on my personal site, my portfolio. Just little things sometimes just keep you going, keep you motivated, and hitting those easy wins. It could be replying to 5 emails or something. Getting those easy wins just keeps your motivation and your momentum going and can be really helpful. It doesn't have to be, I'm gonna make $20 million this year. I'm gonna up my revenue by 50% or anything like that. It could, like, keep them small, but having those goals can really be helpful. If you've not got a goal to aim for, you can stagnate and be like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just doing this work for clients, but you know, what's the overall thing? Where do I want to get to? Do I want to start a YouTube channel? Do I want to start selling merch or like creating offshoots of your business or turning it into a business and hiring people? You know, it can be really, really good to just set goals, and it's a simple thing that, again, I've overlooked in the past, and just having that direction really helps. And this also kind of links into finding your industry and niche. It means you can focus on your lead generation, your network. It helps you to stand out and build your portfolio within that area of work. And then you can take that portfolio and move into other industries and areas. So by setting goals within a niche, say I'm gonna reach out to 10 people in this area of work and try and find some projects and clients within that. You could say, you know, start off, I wanna do 5 projects within mobile development, or if you're a photographer, like clothing brands or anything like that, videographer, if you want to do 5 music videos. Setting a goal in that area can be really beneficial, because then again it helps with your network and your portfolio. And yeah, again, small things make the big things, and before you know it, you'll be rolling. Next one, and one that I hate and tripped me up at the start, was finances. Again, you have to do everything. Even things like managing your own tax, like in the UK especially, your payrolls, your tax gets taken by your employer and you just never think about it. But when you're freelance, you have to do all that yourself. You have to make sure, you know, you're not just like, oh great, I've been paid. You have to factor in that, and you have to make sure you're managing it. Canada's slightly different here. I mean, I do my GST, which is my goods sales tax, quarterly, and then my personal taxes as well. Again, it's complicated. It's weirdly overly complicated sometimes. For me anyway, it's just something that doesn't click in my head, and I have help of accountants and bookkeepers now, so super important. I mean, if you're gonna do it yourself, I was adamant I was gonna do it myself, and then just was super busy, and it's something that fell below the wayside. They don't cost a lot. You can find online courses that teach you to do it as well. If you do want to do it yourself, it can be really handy just to have that as a solid thing, one less thing to worry about. Make sure you get your finances in a row. This is also kind of links back into the packaging and knowing how to sell yourself, because there's ways that you can better make your money go further and make sure that you can cover your taxes and expenses and things. Please, if you're going to go down this route, make sure you focus on that and get it sorted for sure. You've got a lot to think about day to day, so having one last thing to worry about is definitely good. Accountants and bookkeepers, worth their weight in gold. And the last thing I actually wanted to touch on, oh, it's such a good cup of tea. But the last thing is, have fun with it. You're your own boss, and that is like, some people go their whole lives wanting to do that, and yes, it's hard work, but enjoy it. Do things that you wouldn't usually do. Try new things, try new areas. I do things day to day. Like I drive my partner mad because I have so many different ideas, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and try them out and then go, that was a rubbish idea, but hey, I can try it and I've got the freedom to do that. It helps you stand out as well. You're having fun, and if you're doing things that you're passionate about, people will be drawn to it. It's as simple as that. Don't overthink it, enjoy it. And yeah, this has been kind of a ramble, but hopefully there's some helpful things there. But these are things that I just thought I've experienced, so I'm passing it on. If it's useful, let me know. If it's not, I'm sorry for wasted your time. Yeah, I don't do refunds, so apologies. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, drop a like. If you disliked it, dislike it. And if you do dislike it or like it, drop a comment and just let me know your resolutions, your goals. If you have any questions, or if you're a freelancer, reach out, let's connect, get that network going. And yeah, subscribe. Maybe. It's free. It's not a bad deal. Catch you next time. That was graceful, wasn't it?